Concrete is exceptionally strong under pressure, but it carries an inescapable flaw. It is going to crack. Whether from natural shrinkage as it cures, fluctuating temperatures, or the everyday stress of holding up tons of weight, surface fracturing is an engineering guarantee. Look closely at the surface as it splits. This microfracture happens in an instant, and once it forms, the deterioration of the material usually accelerates. But a hairline crack on its own won't immediately compromise a building. The real danger lies in what that fracture invites inside. In this cross-section of reinforced concrete, you can see how a simple surface crack acts as an open highway. It allows water and aggressive chemicals to bypass the protective outer layer and pull directly onto the embedded steel reinforcement. Left untreated, that water corrodes the steel. As the rebar rusts, it physically expands, pushing the concrete apart from the inside out. This internal rot reduces a structure's service life, demanding expensive repairs long before its original design lifespan is up. For decades, this internal decay has defined concrete as a static material. It takes a beating from the elements, inevitably fractures, and forces cities to spend billions on early maintenance. Patching these microcracks manually is manageable if you're fixing a suburban sidewalk, but it becomes a massive logistical headache when the structure is difficult or dangerous to access. Think of deep underground water pipes, submerged pylons of a marine bridge, or massive highway tunnels. Routine maintenance in these environments is notoriously expensive and disruptive. This creates a core engineering dilemma. If crews cannot physically reach these inevitable fractures to fix them, a material itself needs to do the job. We have to engineer concrete that can intercept its own failures before they compromise the structure. The most thoroughly researched solution comes from biology. Engineers are mixing life directly into the wet concrete pour, specifically dormant spores of bacillus bacteria, alongside a nutrient called calcium lactate. Concrete is naturally highly alkaline, making it hostile to most living organisms. However, this specific genus of bacteria is chosen because it can survive deep in a dormant state inside that harsh environment for many years. When a microcrack forms, seeping water instantly wakes the dormant spores. The active bacteria immediately consume the calcium lactate nutrient, excreting a natural byproduct, calcium carbonate, essentially limestone. This limestone physically expands to seal the fracture from the inside, completely cutting off the water supply. Under favorable moisture conditions, laboratory tests show this biological mechanism can autonomously heal small cracks, generally under 1 millimeter wide, in roughly 3 weeks. While bacteria offer an elegant biological fix, engineers are simultaneously developing chemical and structural methods to achieve that exact same autonomous recovery. In the encapsulation model, tiny embedded capsules tear open and bleed a hardening agent. Alternatively, dry crystalline admixtures react with intruding water, spawning rigid, interlocking crystals. Finally, vascular systems use embedded hollow channels to repeatedly pump fresh healing agents directly into the damaged zone. Whether utilizing bacteria, capsules, crystals, or veins, these approaches collectively change the material's role from passive endurance to active self-repair. As impressive as this is, the technology still has strict limits. Current self-healing concrete is exceptional at closing small microcracks, but it cannot repair major structural damage or wide catastrophic fractures. There are also practical hurdles before this sees mass commercial deployment. The advanced materials drive up upfront construction costs, and the bacterial method specifically relies on adequate, consistent moisture to actually wake the spores up. However, because of that moisture dependency, this concrete is already proving valuable in water infrastructure, including pipes and treatment structures, where constant dampness is exactly what causes conventional concrete to rot. The commercial push is actively underway. Research institutions across the Netherlands, Germany, the United Kingdom, and Japan have already completed several pilot projects, pouring self-healing concrete into real highway bridges and experimental buildings under actual field conditions. To refine these mixtures, this data matrix shows how scientists are now applying machine learning. By analyzing variables, algorithms help optimize the exact formulation of bacteria and chemicals needed for specific real-world climates. This research reflects a change in engineering philosophy. Infrastructure is beginning to move towards materials designed with the internal tools to recover from stress, rather than simply trying to resist it until they fail. In our next episode, we will look at how the entire construction process is evolving, exploring a technology that reshapes how these advanced concrete structures are actually built from the ground up: 3D printed construction.